I just wanted to try an experiment. So I'm going live, and by the look of it, no one's watching, which is good because it probably is going to be quite rubbish. So listen, here's the reason I'm doing this: is that Mike. Normally we make films, Mike and I, but Mike has got himself a proper job because he. Hello, Rufus. Mike's got himself a proper job. Can I just close the door down? Anyway, hang on. Say hello. This is Rufus. Say hello, Rufus. That's Rufus. Yes. If I'm in my office, he likes to come and join me. So Mike's got a proper job, so we can't make so many films at the moment. So I thought it might be interesting to try this thing going live thing. I think I tried it. I'm not sure if it ever worked out before. But anyway, and here's my idea. What I'm going to do is this is my local paper, the Bristol Post. And the weekend edition, on a Friday, I write a column for it. The column is called The Diary of an Urban Grandad, and do it every week. So I thought I'm going to try an experiment. I'm going to read out this week's column, see what you think. It might be a rubbish thing. It might be boring. Or I might interrupt myself loads. And here's another thing. It might be quite surprising because, to me, at least a bit surprising, because I wrote this a week or two ago. I tend to write them a week or two before they get printed. And so I've forgotten what it's about this week. Right, first things first. That's what it looks like in the paper. There you go. That's me. It's taken quite some time ago, so I haven't got that jumper anymore. So there you go. That's them. And next thing you need to do is get used to this. Me in these glasses. And because I need glasses to read. But before I read, I want to tell you about these glasses. Hang on, excuse me. I think I want to sneeze. Oh. Anyway, yeah, so these glasses, they're odd. Most of my reading glasses are not like this. The reason I've got these is a while back, I was on holiday in Essex with my wife and with Rufus and Mabel with the dogs. And it was a lovely sunny day. Today's been a lovely sunny day. And it was a day like today, lovely and sunny. And we were sitting in a cafe, watching the world go by. And a bloke walked down the road towards us wearing a pair of glasses just like this. And I'm a terrible one for staring, so I stared at him as he was walking down the road. And he caught my eye. You know, the way it's a bit embarrassing when you sort of see each other staring at each other. So as he came past me, I was saying, "Oh, look, sorry for staring. I was just admiring your glasses because I think they're really fab." And he said, "Well, sorry, I'm sorry for staring because I thought you looked like Stan from the House Mines." Which I said, "Well, I am. That's me." So we got chatting, and him and his wife joined us, and we had a coffee, and we were chit-chatting. Lovely bloke. And anyway, he told me that the shop next door sold these glasses. So when we finished our coffee, went to the shop next door and bought these. So there you go. That's the story of my reading glasses. Right. I mustn't make this go on too long. Apparently it's been 3 minutes already. I'll try not to make it too long. And I'm not sure. Do I interrupt myself or do I just read properly? I'm going to try and read what I've written. But there's always a danger I interrupt myself. So anyway, the strapline is, one door closes, another opens. A mere second's difference in time, a turn left rather than right, can give you entirely different lives. See, that's not me, that's the sub-ed. What they do is, the copy I've submitted, the words I've written, they always grab a bit and put it out as the sort of headline, or they change a bit. Sometimes they change it. So it doesn't entirely make sense to me. But anyway, that's life. So it goes like this. By the way, I'm used to reading to children rather than adults, so forgive me if I sort of go into child mode. Once upon a time. Right, anyway. I had a bit of a sliding doors moment this week. I think that's the right name for it. It comes from the film of the same name. You know the film Sliding Doors. The story revolves around the big differences that small decisions can make in your life, such as stepping through a sliding door or not. A mere second's difference in time, a turn left rather than right, can give you entirely different lives. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I've got hay fever at the moment, so I do apologise for this. Oh dear. Right, where was I? Oh yes, a step left or right or a second's difference in time can give you a different life. Which I do actually believe is true. 1,000 small decisions every day can affect your life. The 1,000 small decisions we make, like these reading glasses. The bloke could have walked past and we could have just stared at each other and not said a word. But in fact, we both sort of smiled and started a conversation and we had a really nice time. In fact, I think we became friends on Facebook or something. And so there you go. I don't see it anymore because Facebook, I don't understand Facebook very well. But anyway, so for a while, we used to sort of chit chat on Facebook. So there you go. A tiny decision we both made to chat and be friendly. Anyway, right, so where was I? Yes, a turn left rather than right can give you entirely different lives. At least I think that's how it works in the film. I'm not entirely sure, as I've never actually watched it. Yeah, confession time. I've heard about Sliding Doors. My kids have told me about it, but I've never actually watched it. Either way, if you're wondering what has got me thinking about all this stuff, let me explain. A few days ago, I was off on my travels again. Not very far this time, only as far as Herefordshire, a mere hop, skip, and a couple of hours' drive away. Very nice it was too. It really was very nice. So nice, in fact, that I have written a travel piece about it, which will be appearing in the Bristol Post weekend magazine sometime soon. So do keep your eyes peeled. Obviously, you can't do that unless you live in the Bristol area, because basically, yeah, I don't think it goes online. Maybe it does go online. Actually, it might go online. Look up Bristol Live. Yeah, it might go on. I don't know. Anyway, do keep your eyes peeled, reader. There are lots of hints and tips just waiting to be passed on, including the name of a rather fine brewery I stumbled across. But I digress. Oh, it's true. I was doing a little travel piece in Herefordshire, and I had dinner in this restaurant, really nice restaurant, and it turned out they had their own brewery. I was drinking their beer, so the next day the chef was also the head brewer, and he invited me. He said, "Do you want to come and look at the brewery tomorrow?" So the next morning after breakfast, I went to this restaurant, and he took me around the back, and they literally have a garden shed in the back garden of this restaurant. It's so cute. There's like apple trees and birds and bees and flowers, and this garden shed, and they make this gorgeous beer. It's called Webley Brewing Company. Webley Brewing Company. Webley spelled Webley. But I must be honest, this is a product placement. He gave me some free bottles to take home, which I drank, and they were really nice. So I went home and I Googled it, Webley Brewing Company, and you can buy them online. So I'm going to go and buy a couple of crates online of his beer. Very nice. But I'm digressing, aren't I? I'm digressing. Right. The point is, when I was in Herefordshire, I ended up in a really rather lovely little village, staying in a B&B. Also very nice. The village was one of those oldie world ones they do so well over there, with an enormous church, dinky high street, tiny rose garden which doubles as a village green, and most importantly, loads of ancient black and white timbered frame houses. I don't know if you've ever been to Herefordshire, but if you haven't, Google Herefordshire black and white villages. They're really pretty. They're literally hundreds of years old, and it's really cute, and it's very close to where I live. Actually, hey, if I do this again, I might actually read out the travel piece when it comes out. So if you want me to read out the travel piece, give me a thumbs up or leave a comment. And if you think this is boring, leave me a comment. Say, Stan, don't do that again. It was a complete waste of my life. Or if you do want me to do it again, let me know. It's always nice to get a bit of feedback. So where was I? Oh yes, black and white villages. They are cute as a button and easy on the eye. One of these houses was the B&B where I was staying. It was really nice. Over breakfast, I got chatting to the couple who ran the place. They were a friendly pair, and they made you feel all homely and happy just by being with them, which is so true. They were lovely. I was having breakfast, and we were just chatting. Very nice. Which is probably why they run a B&B, now I think about it. Oh, so true. Anyway, long story short, after hearing up how they ended in that village, in that house, it got me thinking about the sliding doors mentioned above. You see, way back in the mists of time, many, many years ago, long before Mrs. Cullen and I moved to our forever home here in Bristol, because I'm in Bristol at the moment. We've been here for like 30 years. So before we moved here, we went on holiday to Herefordshire. We were living up north at the time in Hull, and we were thinking of moving to a different town somewhere down south to start a new life before the kids got too old to move easily. If you've got kids, you know it's like when they're at primary school of a certain age, you can move them, but when they get at secondary school, it's a bit harder. So we thought we wanted to move before they got too old. So it turned out we both had a completely marvellous time in Herefordshire. It was fantastic. We stayed in a farm for about a month or so, or more. We loved everything about the place, and we got to playing the game of what would it be like to live here. I don't know if you did that, but we did that. Whenever you go somewhere nice, you start looking at the estate agents' windows and thinking, could we afford to sell our house and buy one here? Anyway, we were playing that game in Herefordshire. After giving a bit of thought to the subject, we decided it might actually be quite a nice place to bring up a family. So we looked at a few houses and we found one we liked, a black and white one, with more character than a wonky donkey in a wonky donkey hat. We tried to buy it, almost succeeded too, but then everything fell apart in slow motion, the way it sometimes does with buying a house. It really, the way in this country, in the UK, when you try and buy a house, it takes months and there's lawyers. And this house, everything just went wrong. So anyway, we didn't buy that house. And it said, by the time the dust had settled, we had moved on. We spent enough time in Bristol visiting my brother to see what was what. And that's true. You see, what we after deciding we couldn't get to Herefordshire, we came to Bristol. My brother lived here at the time. And we were both saying, hey, this is fab, this place. So we decided that Herefordshire was fine, but Bristol was fabulous. So we tried to buy a house in Bristol, and we succeeded. We got ourselves a little house here, and several decades later, we're still in Bristol. Happier than a dog in a gravy bone biscuit factory. I do love those sort of Blackadder-esque, silly. Happier than a dog in a gravy bone biscuit factory in a barrel of gravy bone biscuits. If you're wondering what this has got to do with the price of fish, it's quite simple. Getting back to Bristol after my recent trip to Herefordshire, I was telling my wife all about the friendly couple I'd met in the B&B. When she suddenly remembered where the house was, the one we tried to buy. It was in a place called Kington, very close to the B&B. It was strangely close to the village where I stayed in that B&B. Turns out, but for the house purchase collapsing, that lovely couple could well have been us. Or they could have been our friends, because we would have been quite close to them. Which would have been nice, but if that had been our lives, we would never have made a home for ourselves here in Bristol, which we've had a fantastic time in Bristol so far, and I hope it continues. Can't say I ever saw any sliding doors all those years ago when we were trying to decide where to live, but I'm glad we went through the ones that brought us here. Glad all over, in fact. I do like song references. Always good to be reminded just how lucky we are to call this gorgeous little town of ours home sweet home. Until next time, all the best, Stan. There you go. That's my column. Hang on, I'm just going to blow my nose. Sorry, hay fever nose. Hang on. So there. That is, I'll just remind you again, that's my weekly column that I do in the Bristol Post. And I must confess, I buy it every Friday, partially to check they've actually printed my column. I always think, did I remember to send one in this week? Did it go to the right person? But it's partially to check that, but also because they've got like crosswords and Stucos and all those sort of things. I love doing those. I was just doing the garden this afternoon. So there you go. That's my column. These are my glasses. I'm Stan. If you, as I said, if you fancy me doing this again, if you think you'd like to see one of these again, let me know. Give me a thumbs up or give me a comment. And if you'd rather I didn't do it again, don't give me a thumbs down, please, because I think YouTube tell me off for that. Just put a comment saying, Stan, don't do that. Anyway, how do I stop this? That's the next question. Anyway, so there. Has it stopped?